Greetings, Council of the North listeners. My name's Andrew, and today I'm going to be doing my hobby vlog number 2 about my Rohan army. Famously, I am known in the OSBGL and this channel for exclusively playing Army of Edoras and definitely not any other army. And I'd like to showcase my Army of Edoras. I'm fairly happy with it. We'll take a look at my display board and some of the models individually as well afterwards. This isn't really terrain. It is purely a display board. It's pretty functional. So I'll go through it and point out some of the things I'm not happy with, and you can see the lessons I learned from this and compare it to my Doom board in my hobby vlog number 1. So make sure, if you haven't seen that video, to go and check that one out as well. Here is my Army of Edoras display board. I've never built any display board or anything like that before, or at least not for many, many years when I was a kid. And if you want to get eyes for best painted or best display board, you need a display board, basically. It's pretty much a requirement. So I wanted to build something, so here it is. This is my first attempt. It's not really terrain building. It's very much a display board. I can, throw a bunch of models on it, bring around. It's still functional at a tournament. And I'm fairly happy with it, but there are some flaws that I kind of wish I could improve on, but it's kind of hard to at this point. But I think the army looks great on it, and we'll go and look into some more detail about how I built the board now. So I got this piece of wood, this oval piece of wood from an art store, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with the board, how I wanted to look, but I just went and was walking through the art store, and this oval piece just kind of struck me with inspiration. So I picked it up, and then you can see that I've kind of layered on a few layers of cork and chipped away at the edges to make it look like mountains. I think cork is the best way to make ledges and rocks for smaller scale like this, and then foam is much better for bigger stuff like a mountain. So, and then I've got some rocks sort of on the ground. They're a bit bigger than I wanted. You can see on the bases, that's probably the size I should have gone, or maybe one size in between these two. And then, I just sort of layered it in with the cork to make it look more, make it look natural. And there's this sort of pathway down the center that doesn't have rocks to show that it's a well-trampled sort of path up this hill. So I glued down the rocks just very precisely, make sure to keep with the ledge, sort of the trim of the oval, and then just left some of the rocks outside, a little rim on the outside to show that it's a cliffside. And then I have some standard flock and woodland scenics brush to sort of make it look like a Rohan plains or steppe, and it matches with my bases as well. Alright, first up, let's take a look at Hama. All of these new minis are great from the War of the Rohirrim starter box. This one I really like how the cape is sort of flowing over horse's tail and the horse's hair. I think it looks quite good. And I don't know what the real horse term is, but the blanket that they have over the under the saddle. Same with Haleth as well. This is probably my favorite one from the starter box. Just really dynamic models. You can see, I think I got the face pretty good on this one. Turned out pretty nice. Even super close up like this, when sort of the illusion disappears, I think it still looks pretty good. You can unfortunately see that his spear broke. I jabbed my hand into it one day, unfortunately, but so what happens when you actually play with your minis, they get some damage. Yeah, this one, it took a long time sort of highlighting all of the horse armor, just like getting like nice little shadows everywhere. And the bit of his sheath that you can see under his cape right there, that's really, really nice detail they added. And when you paint it up nice, yeah, it really adds to the miniature. Yeah, you can see. I'm quite happy with that face. It's not perfect, but even the super up close like this, I think, looks quite good. And the eyes, yeah. Eyes are always a little bit of luck, and I think I got pretty lucky with those ones. Now, this is probably my favorite Middle-earth miniature of all time, is the old King Helm Hammerhand. The man himself, the big man. Just looks really stoic, a little dusty from being in my storage box so much, in and out. And I'm really happy with how his base turned out as well. Just glued some cork on there and sort of off-centered him. It does make it actually kind of easier to get him into combat because the front of his base is all clear. And his eyes turned out pretty good as well. This is a bit of an older miniature that I painted maybe a few years before Haleth and Hama. But his face turned out pretty good as well. And yeah, this model is just really excellent. I really, really like it. And I really enjoy playing with it as well. Lots of fun. I would like to maybe go back and touch up this model, maybe the Warhorn a little bit. But it's kind of scary to go back to a model when you haven't been working on it. Yeah, and he's looking pretty fearsome. As long as he can win his fights, he can take down pretty much anything. And here we got Hama on foot. It's a nice model as well with his bow. Yeah, really nice. The fletching on the arrows. Really sharp detail. When you highlight it up, it looks really good. His eyes turned out not too bad as well. I also like the armor that they've given to the two princes. They're kind of similar to the Outrider armor. You can see here, especially this one is quite similar to the Outrider armor, Haleth's. And yeah, this is a really, really cool model, especially with his throwing spear like that, really dynamic. And yeah, his face turned out quite good as well. I'm pretty happy with his face on foot. And of course, they all have to have blonde hair, or at least just very light brown at the darkest. And then Helm on foot. It's nice how they, even though this miniature is much older than War of the Rohirrim, they still kind of all fit together. You know, they look close enough where the theme is kind of still there. I really like Helm's armor and those layered shoulder pads and the scale mail. It's just such a great design. They really nailed it with this design on this model. And here's some other heroes. Here's a captain. This is a great captain pose. And King's Huntsman, which I've never used and probably never will use, but I thought I'd paint one up. And yeah, you can see I've used some of these older bushes on these bases. I think I'd like to go back and replace them with some of the Woodland Scenics brush. And yeah, here are some new Rohan infantry, which are absolutely fantastic. They really hit it out of the park with these models. All of them are great. And some two dismounted Outriders in the back there, courtesy of Mike Shulk. Did a little trade for those. Yeah, these new infantry models are great. There's some on the board as well. And I do tend to use a few of them. These guys are some guys I do not use. Royal Guard on foot. With the new edition, I don't really find a place for them. But I do have 5 of them mounted that I usually run. So I got lots for dismounts. And these are nice models, even though they're kind of dated. They are nice. They have lots of detail. You can paint up lots of little gold. And here are some older infantry. Lots of throwing spears back when Helm's Legion could take 100% throwing spears. And honestly, these models still kind of stand up or hold up. Especially this guy with the warhorn. That's a cool model. And that was my Army of Edoras display board and army tour. I'm looking forward to playing with Army of Edoras again this new season and bringing that display board out, even though I'm not totally happy with it. I think it's still quite nice, and it is handy for transporting models around during the tournament day. If you like what you saw and want more hobby vlogs, please like, comment, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And we'll see you in the next video.